Welcome back to Impossibly Unremarkable, a podcast hosted by myself, Jonathon Butts, and my longtime friend, co-host, and caramel bonbon, Elliott Markson.
Yes, another episode of this podcast, and we are just two men on a bus, barreling down a hill. The brakes are cut, and we're screaming, "Save us! Save us! Don't stop the bus, it'll explode!" Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't want someone to stop the bus?
No, it's, so that was a reference to like a movie, and I actually couldn't remember what the movie was. I had to search it, but, so basically there's this movie, I believe it's starring Sandra Bullock, and, there's this bus where they're on this bus, and it can't go, it can't go below a certain speed, or it'll explode.
Oh, is it like
They'll all die.
Is it just like a silly phantom bus, or is like was someone rig it that way?
I think that somebody rigged it that way.
Okay.
Yes, if I recall.
It wasn't just like a haunted bus.
I did look it up. The movie is called Speed. Yeah,
Really?
It's called Speed. It's starring Sandra Bullock, Keanu Reeves, and some other actors that some of you may or may not know. I don't know.
And this is your favorite movie?
No, it's not. It was a reference. It was just something.
Favorite movie from Elliott.
Isn't that a wild like idea for a movie?
It's kind of a terrible premise.
It's just a terrorist attack. That is literally just the premise of the movie.
A single bus?
Also, yeah. I can't even remember like what they're actually trying to do, like why they're on the bus or where they're going, but they can't stop. They can't go below 50 miles per hour or they'll all die. I'm sure Keanu Reeves saves the day, though. He always does.
Can you get off the bus?
Probably. I'm pretty sure that's what they try to do. I mean, you can't go below 50, though. But right. But they probably find a way to get off. I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually seen the full movie.
Should we this episode is just us watching Speed and
yeah, let's just watch it. That's something for the Patreon in the future.
But we can't put the video on for copyright reasons.
Absolutely not.
You'll just
hear our reactions to it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is half of what YouTube is nowadays.
For sure. It's just people reacting to things.
Yeah. Depressing.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that for sure.
Easy. That's the easiest, cheapest form of content to make. Take something else someone has done and just talk about it.
Easy.
Which I guess we already do.
Yeah, kind of. Speaking of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, what?
Were you going to ask how I'm doing?
No.
Were you going to ask?
What a stupid question.
Were you going to ask me?
What about Keanu Reeves?
I tried to watch the John Wick movies this weekend because I haven't seen any of them. Any of them. And I've heard they're good, right? I've heard that they are quality movies. And I got to say, I watched the first one and I don't know. I don't get it. I
just know the dog dies in the first one, so I won't give it a try.
Oh, it was so sad. I was watching it with Megan, and she was like, "Did you know the dog was going to die?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's the premise of the movie. His dog dies, and then he goes and kills everybody." And she was like, "You knew the whole time, and you didn't tell me." And then she left. She didn't watch the rest of the movie with me.
Yeah, yesterday, Emily and I were watching Narcos.
Okay, yeah.
And there's this scene where this dude Luis Guzman, great actor.
Sure.
I loved him in IMDb.
Nice.
But he just shoots this like German Shepherd like 4 times.
Oh my!
And then you don't see him shoot. Like you see him, pointing his gun and shooting.
Right.
And it's like, okay, they don't show the dog like dead, and then they like zoom out and boom, like the dog is just there, like bleeding out.
Why do we got to show the dog dead? They do it in John Wick too.
And then an episode later, they hang a cat.
Jeez.
Stuff I don't want to see. I don't want to see.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to harm animals.
I need to imagine animals dying. That's.
You can just imply it.
Imply it.
That's enough.
Put it
enough for
screen.
me. I don't need to see it with my eyes. Have you seen John Wick? The fuck? Have you seen John Wick?
No, I just told you I'm not going to watch it because I know the dog dies.
Oh, well, I may try to watch the other 2 because they're all on HBO. You can watch the whole series, and then I think they're making the 4th, or the 4th is going to come out at some point.
Is on its way.
I was hoping to like them and then watch the 4th once it comes out, but I don't know if that's the case. I'm not like an action movie guy. I just don't think I can do it.
Neither am I. I think most action is just very generic, basic.
Yeah.
Not really exciting.
I mean, like, the fighting scenes are pretty sick, right? But, I mean, it's just so silly. And the way Keanu Reeves acts in it, I mean, I know he's being overly dramatic because that's kind of the character, but it's not for me. Can't do it. Can't subscribe to it. I'm sorry if you're a John Wick fan out there. It's just, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not man enough to like it.
No, I think you're plenty man.
Thanks, dude. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
How was your week? Whatever.
It's great.
Oh my God. I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, the other thing I did was I had a massive overhaul of cleaning to do. I took all my clothes, got rid of a bunch of them, because I have way too many clothes.
Did you donate them all?
Not all of them, because...
Why not all of them?
Well, a lot of them weren't worth donating.
How do you mean?
So, I mean, like you know how in college we'd go to like Brothers and get like T-shirts at Brothers?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be donating a bar T-shirt,
What
like
do you mean?
a dirty old bar T-shirt
What do you mean?
to Goodwill or wherever. Like, who the hell needs to wear that? Nobody wants that.
People that can't afford clothing probably would take it.
No, there was definitely clothes not even worth getting rid of or donating to people. So, no, I did not.
You got rid of all of your bar shirts?
Yeah, man, I don't need them. My
Did you get rid of the delusion?
I did get rid of the delusion.
Fuck?
When are we gonna wear that again?
I wear mine all the time. It's like a lounge at home shirt.
Really?
That was an expensive shirt.
It was technically it was $50.
There was a bar at our college town that would give you a T-shirt if you they had a signature drink.
Yes.
It cost $5. Every time you ordered that drink, you'd get a little ticket. If you had 10 of those tickets, you'd be able to get this shirt. So it's a $50 shirt.
Yeah. I mean, it took us probably not as long as it probably should have taken somebody to accomplish that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we would collect those tickets. Eventually, I got 10 of them after that and got the T-shirt. And there was different variations of it. There was the tie-dye one, and then you could get the black or white. I believe I went with the tie-dye.
I got the black and white.
Yep. Pretty sweet shirt. Pretty sweet shirt.
Fun fact, someone had dropped 3 tickets outside the bar. I took that.
Oh,
so I think
so
I
you
only
didn't
had
really even
7
earn
of
it.
them. Well, I didn't spend. I spent
You're a
$35.
fraud. You're a fraud, just like the Vikings.
Well,
I don't know if I want to discuss that, but also the drink itself was called the Delusion, and I don't remember exactly what was in it, but it was disgusting.
I'm assuming it's their attempt at a Long Island.
I think so.
And I remember when I first started. I mean, that was around the time when I didn't drink that long. I didn't really drink in high school. Like you did.
I was really cool.
I was very opposed to drinking for a very long time, but once I started drinking, I haven't been able to stop it.
Yeah, now he just does it every single day, and he can't stop doing it.
Hooked up. But when I remember going there and like getting the Delusion because I was told it was so good, and like when I first got it, I remember thinking it was awesome. Mm-hmm. But the last time, and it's probably 2 years since I've like tasted it, I wanted to vomit just putting it down.
Awful. I'm pretty sure it was like multiple types of alcohol, maybe some like vodka or rum or something. And then I'm pretty sure they threw like orange juice in there.
Some orange juice, and I think
then probably like grenadine or something.
Yeah, either
because
grenadine
it was
or like
so
blue
sweet.
curacao to like top it off to give it kind of like
some
the blue
sort of syrup.
But I remember if like once you stirred it, like it would come out like a prettyish, like bluish. But once you stirred it, it would look like
it just like turned brown.
It was like garbage water.
You're just like drinking garbage water that tasted like way too much sugar and had way too much booze in it.
Yeah.
But the whole idea about getting these delusions was that you'd be so fucked up afterwards.
Yeah.
You'd be ready to roll, baby. But
$5 and like you've had the equivalent of 3 beverages. Awesome.
Basically, yeah.
Such a great deal.
No regrets there.
And I bet it's still $5 to this day.
Probably. I bet inflation hasn't touched the Delusion.
It better not have.
I hope that place is still kicking it.
Next time
the dirtiest, grimiest hipster bar in Eau Claire.
It was my favorite one. It was the most quiet one.
I guess it wasn't even a hipster bar. It was like almost like an older person bar, kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was sick. Best bar there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I got rid of a bunch of clothes. I had way too many clothes. Like my closet was full. I had a closet upstairs that had more clothes in it. I had way too many. I'm worried that I was like borderline, like almost going to cross the line to become a hoarder. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a hoarder. I got to get rid of my things. Stop being attached to them.
I'm really proud of you. Minus the
Thanks,
Delusion
man.
shirt and all the other bar shirts. I'm pretty pissed off.
I just
about
I don't need them anymore. If I
called
haven't
memories.
worn
You
it
don't
in
need
years,
memories anymore?
What am I going to do? Put it in a damn frame and put it on the wall and tell my children,
All right.
Dad got really wasted and earned that shirt.
Full disclosure, I was going to make you one of those t-shirt quilts.
What?
Yeah.
I could still get it back.
No, it's too late.
It's at the dump, probably.
Gross.
Just go digging in the trash for it. I got it.
Well, now that I can't do that, I have to think of a new birthday gift for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you should have told me because I had no idea.
It's called a surprise.
All right. Well, but yeah, that was a big thing that I did this week that I feel like I accomplished a lot. You know, getting rid of that, cleaned out my closet. I feel refreshed. I feel like I have turned a new leaf in terms of my wardrobe.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. But now you will be seeing repeated shirts on this show because I got rid of a lot of stuff.
Have you gotten rid of something that you've worn on this show?
No.
That's what I thought. You disgust me.
Okay.
Just kidding. You big goofball.
Stop. How was your week?
Great,
Tell me about
man.
it.
Great. So I've had this 3 or 4 week long anxiety of trying to source a passport.
Yeah.
For my upcoming trip. And I talked about it before. This passport agency that does same day passports, but you have to secure an appointment. You can only call once you're within this 14-day window.
Yep.
I've seen some people online say they have lied to get the appointment.
Really?
But I'm like, it's the State Department. I don't really want to
You didn't lie to him?
No, I didn't lie to him.
You just told the truth?
Yeah. So I waited. The earliest I could call was the 17th or yesterday.
Yep.
And so I got up at 6:30. This online guide tells you to start dialing 5 minutes before they're available to answer the phone.
Sure.
And you just have to keep cycling through these inputs, press 3 to hear the same option over and over. So I kept doing it. Once 7 o'clock hit, got connected to someone right away. The dude helped me instantly. I got an appointment for next week.
Nice.
Which means as long as I don't fuck up, I'm for sure leaving this stupid
This guy's
country.
going to Germany.
I'm so excited.
Have you ever left the country?
Never left
You
the
haven't,
country.
right?
No.
Wow.
Not even to Canada, not even to Mexico.
Imagine you're on the plane and it goes down before you can get to another country.
I mean, I don't think I would be so much bummed that
You survive, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you'd survive.
I assume I was going to die.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be as funny.
Because I don't think I would care as much if I was about to die. I wouldn't have been like, oh, I didn't get to leave the country.
Well, you might.
I'm going to die.
It might cross your mind.
No, I would probably be like, how can I call Elliott to tell him that I don't want him to replace me on the podcast?
I would just do it alone.
If I died, you'd do it alone?
Sure.
What are you going to talk about?
Oh, what am I going to talk about? I don't know.
Can you make me a promise right here, right now?
Yeah, right here, right now.
If I die before we stop doing this podcast,
Yep.
I want you to continue.
Okay.
But I want you to film and record every episode as if I were still sitting here. I want you to have the mic here.
Yeah.
I want you to talk to me. I want you to have some weird gaps in silence where you're waiting for me to respond.
Okay.
I want you to continue as long as possible as normal.
Okay. I just don't know how that would go. I feel like that would really take away from some of the content, as it would be
No. Give it a shot. Ask me something.
What's the best thing you did this week? Wow, really? That's incredible.
See, it's natural.
Wow, yeah. I could probably fake it for a while.
I'll pre-record some of these buttons to just have canned responses. For
Ooh,
you.
that'd be nice.
So you can only have 4 of them.
We have a robot version of you where it's just recordings of what you've said.
Yeah.
So there's just little responses I can input.
Yeah.
So then it'll help me carry on as if we're having a real conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect plan for when your plane goes down and you don't make it to Germany.
If any plane's going down, it's the one on the way to New Jersey because it's such an awful place.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
They've got the boardwalk. They've got
the people that
the
come from
Atlantic
there?
Ocean. They've got those guys with the slick back hair, like Paulie D, and they talk like this, and they're like, "Hey, come on, I'm walking here."
Speaking of the East Coast accent stereotype,
I was just about to get into that.
So we went to the Vikings game this past weekend.
Yep,
The
the wild card round game against the New York Giants.
Unfortunate loss, but still I had a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Good time. But there was this guy in front of us who's him and his, what I would assume to be his dad.
I think it was his
Giants
father,
fans.
yeah.
And Neil was with us, and he started making fun of the Giants, and he started
Okay, me and Neil were doing it together. I didn't really realize this guy was going to hear us. I mean, we knew he was sitting directly in front of us, but I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I didn't think he'd turn around and say anything. Because when the Giants came out onto the field, people started booing or whatever, and me and Neil were just like, "Hey, get out of here. Go back to New York." We were like, they always "Hey, we're walking here." And we're like, "Walk on out of here." And the guy turns around, he's like, "Hey, nobody actually talks like that." We're like,
the exact same tone and inflection that Elliott and Neil
he
were
sounded
using.
exactly like what we were doing. And then Neil, who'd had a few drinks, by the way, I think that's the only reason he had the confidence to be like, "You just talked like that." And the man was not happy with us.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to get on his nerves. If you're listening, and you probably are, Mr. New York Giants fan, I apologize. Didn't mean to offend you, and congrats on the win, buddy. It was a hard-fought game by Danny Dimes.
Fuck you, Daniel Jones.
it was it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We got some overalls from Zubaz.
Yeah.
We put up
Shout out
couple pictures
Zubaz.
online. Yeah, love Zubaz. I've never felt so confident in my entire life
Yeah.
because so many people are so kind. There was one person who made a really nasty comment, but I think they were mostly joking. But everyone,
What was the nasty comment they made to you?
don't you remember?
No, what did they say?
I think we were in line for that buffet at that bar.
Yeah.
And we were talking with the bartender, and the bartender made some comment about, wow, those Zubas look so nice.
Yeah.
And this lady behind us was said no one ever.
And then she's like, I'm just kidding, honey, blah, blah, blah.
Like, shut up, lady.
Like, shut up. Who are you?
Don't
what
take
are you
this
doing
away
here?
from me. But we got so many compliments. We got so many free drinks.
Yeah.
I was pretty loaded by
Yeah, you guys were
first quarter.
Were going pretty heavy into it, heavier than I thought you would have. But it did help that we were standing in the little plaza area outside of the stadium before the game, and this lady comes up to us, and she just like hands you a White Claw and just goes, "You want this?" And then you just like took it or something, whatever. I don't remember.
Put it in my front pouch.
Yep, front pouch, because those Zubas got the front pouch. Also, if you're not familiar, Zubas are those cool pants from the 80s, but they have different variations, and we were wearing overalls.
Yeah, they got a shit ton of products. I have sweatshirts,
I felt so confident in the
socks,
overalls.
hats.
Yeah, they got everything. Shout out Zubaz. If you need anything, go to Zubaz.com. Get your shit.
Zubaz.
Yeah, you'll find it.
Zubaz.
Zubaz.
How embarrassing if I couldn't even plug them correctly.
But yeah, so that lady handed you a White Claw, and then she also handed you a tiny little bottle of Fireball.
Yeah.
And said, and I quote, "It's a good day to have a good day." So God bless that lady.
Yeah, that was awesome. I any future games I'm going to, I'm absolutely going to wear them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It was something about him, I just felt so powerful. Like I could do anything.
You got ass pockets. You got deep pockets on your sides. You got a front like little kangaroo Joey kangaroo Joey pocket.
Little kangaroo
You got
pouch.
a piss zipper in case you need to piss.
A piss zipper. That was my first question when I put them on. I was like, how do I pee? And then you were like, you got a zipper, buddy. And then there's this nice little zipper that just unzips where your pants would unzip, and you can just kind of just flap it out there and use it how you will.
To be clear, we're not sponsored by Zubaz. We just really like the product.
Love the product. Would love to be sponsored by Zubaz.
Would love to be sponsored.
I don't know, Zubaz. I know you're probably listening, so there's a hint if you can take it. Yeah, man, those things were fucking sick. Would wear them again. Will wear them again. And yeah, shout out Zubaz. Please get your Zubaz.
Yeah.
Woo!
On to the next search history.
Search history.
So I'm going to preface this by saying this is not exactly search history, but it's something I found out about online.
Okay.
So I saw this tweet, and it was directed at another person saying, hey, this person should buy this.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. I'm like, that looks really familiar. Do you remember, I mean, obviously you remember Stella's in Uptown?
Yes.
The oyster bar?
Of course. Did it close?
It is closed.
Oh,
it is closed.
R.I.P. Stella's.
But out of that closure has come an opportunity, and I want you to get on board with me.
Okay.
They're auctioning the giant neon sign
Whoa.
that they had.
Yeah.
The high bid right now is $5.
Dude, we have to get it.
Right?
Wait. We need to get it right now.
Right?
If we get this sign, I'm going to hang it up right here so we can just have it.
It's 10 feet tall.
Never mind. It will not fit in here. That's why it's not very expensive. Nobody knows what the hell to do with it.
I really, 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 really want it. I don't have a way to pick it up.
Yeah.
I don't know like what sort of treatment or maintenance is required for like real neon signs.
No idea.
But God, I want it so bad.
Dude, it's 10 feet tall?
Yeah.
That's so big. Yeah, how like long or wide is it?
Probably like a couple feet.
Okay.
It's pretty fucking big. I mean, it's like a sign that was on a building.
Wow. You could put that on like your house.
Yeah, you could put that on your house.
What if I'd probably get a complaint from my neighbors. They'd probably like call the police.
Right fucking
Just but then Stella's.
You could open like a basement speakeasy or something.
Dude, hell yeah.
You probably have to serve oysters because it says it on the sign.
It says oysters on there?
Yeah, it says Stella's Oyster Bar and like fish and stuff.
Does somebody own like the branding of it? Can you hang that up and use it?
I feel like you have to be able to hang up and use it if you like, because I'm pretty sure that Stella's is just a one-off, right?
I think so.
It's not a franchise,
right?
So then it's closed. Who's going to care if you use their branding?
We need the sign,
right?
I don't know where we'll put it, but we need it.
First, we need to get someone with a giant fucking truck.
Yep.
Then we need to spend more than $5.
More than 5, easy.
It's probably not going to end up, being very much. There's no reason.
There's no way.
If it was something that they expected to sell really well or sell for a high price, they would not have had a minimum bid of like $1.
No, they would have put it much higher than that if they thought there was an actual like market for it for people who actually want to purchase it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we need that sign.
Yeah,
we need it.
I'm really excited about it.
What? How do you pick something up like that? If you have a big truck or any means of getting something that's 10 feet tall, please let us know. We would love to talk to you and see how we can get about getting this sign.
Are you like responsible for removing it? Because all the pictures of it's on the building plugged in.
It's still on there?
Yeah.
We'd find a way. I would just buy it and worry about it later. Also, like if it's like $10, okay, I'm assuming that it'll be a little more expensive than that by the time you actually purchase it. Let's say 50.
Yeah, 50.
Let's say it gets up to $50. That's $50 well spent.
Yeah, and we split it 25
each.
I can afford that. That's in the budget. I have a pretty high budget for neon.
I can make it work. Yeah, man. Let's just purchase it and worry about the details later.
Yeah.
That's really my philosophy on life, man. Things will probably work themselves out anyways.
Figure it out later.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lesson. Here's my other thing. I'm thinking we buy it.
Yep.
Someone's probably going to buy that building at some point.
Sure, absolutely.
But they have our property on it.
Ooh.
They pay us $20K to get rid of it.
They pay us. Ooh. I don't know if that's how that works, but
what do you mean?
I feel like once you purchase the sign, you got to take the sign. You're just going to leave it on there?
It's connected to the building. That implies that the building is ours too.
Okay.
Now we've got real estate.
Is that how that works?
Property taxes, but I mean we can figure it out. We can open a business. We already have a sign. We have to be named Stella.
A new podcast studio, live from the dance floor of Stella's Oyster Fish Restaurant, whatever the fuck it was.
I've never been in there.
What, the dance floor?
Stella's in general.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you were missing out. It was quite the establishment.
It was closed the last time we were able to go. Uptown.
Yep.
Which is bumming me out. I love seafood.
You missed out, man. Those were good times. That was a great night too. That was that night where Ben was not allowed into that bar because he didn't have belt loops.
I always forget the name of that bar.
The Poorhouse.
The Poorhouse.
It was the Poorhouse, which is a stupid, like, dirty bar anyways. Like I don't know why they, of all things, they had a dress code. You had to have belt loops.
The funny thing is he was wearing a T-shirt, like a giant fucking graphic T-shirt of Bobby Hill.
Yeah.
That said, like sometimes I'm a little slut or something like that.
Something like that.
They didn't object to that. They objected to the fact that he was wearing shorts that didn't have belt loops, so they wouldn't let him in.
At first, when they didn't let him in, I was like, oh man, was it your shirt? He's like, no, I didn't have belt loops because he was wearing like gym shorts or something. I'm like, that's unheard of, dude. Like, they didn't even mention the shirt.
I remember we went on Yelp and like Google reviews and left trash reviews because, fuck you for not letting us in.
Come on.
But other people had similar comments.
Yeah.
That they've been denied.
It's just weird because it's not even a nice bar.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I wanna
fuck you, Poorhouse.
Yeah, fuck you,
and
Poorhouse.
R.I.P. to Stella's. We're getting that sign.
Yeah. Well, next week we'll tell you all about the new sign.
Absolutely.
We just have it taken up the entire space here.
I don't think we could even get it down here.
How tall do you think your ceilings are?
Not 10 feet. These are short. This is like a... Nah.
We'll just puncture.
Yeah, we'll find a way.
Yeah.
We'll find a way.
Updates to follow. What do you got for search history?
What do I got for
search
history? I can't top that, actually. So, what do I got? Ooh, I saw... Okay, so this is one thing I saw on Twitter, and then it led me to search on the internet to check if it was real or not. So I saw on Twitter by this... I can't remember what the source was, but they posted something like scientists found a way to reverse aging. And I was like, there's no way that's possible. This is clickbait. This is bullshit. I click on the article, and then I find a subsequent article from CNN stating that scientists have found a way to reverse aging in mice.
The first step is always mice.
It's always mice. Mice are always the first step. So they found a way to Benjamin Button these fuckers and make them reverse the aging process. They regained abilities like they were younger and shit. It was crazy.
I question what's actually being de-aged. Is it their organs? Is it their appearance?
I believe it went into detail, and let me just skim this article once again because I In Boston labs, old blind mice have regained their eyesight, developed smarter, younger brains, and built healthier muscle and kidney tissue.
Okay, so that answers my question. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How do we translate it to... Can I take it so I can stop wearing glasses?
Maybe they could get to that point. That's what I'm saying. This is wild. If this is true, which CNN, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But if this is true and they are able to bring it to people, are you doing this shit? Because I'm doing it in a heartbeat.
Right now, probably not.
Yeah.
But if it were...
Right, once you get to that
proven effective
age.
At an age...
Right.
100%, I don't want to die.
Oh, hell no. Although, this could be a bad thing as well, because 1, it'll be very expensive. 2, that also means only the richest people in the world will be able to afford it, which also means these billionaires, which control our whole world, will now live forever.
But that means they can stay in Congress longer.
Is that a good thing?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
You're right. We want Mitch McConnell to stay in power forever.
I'm worried about him.
Yeah. Another turtle, man. Similar to the one from last week.
His neck can only hang so low.
Do you think if they were able to do this process on him, which they didn't even specify what they did to these mice. I don't know what did they do? Just inject a serum or some shit? I have no idea. But they just give him the old jab, which they won't because he probably won't believe in the jab anyways. But whatever. Do you think his neck would just kind of go back up into itself?
Maybe.
Excuse me.
Can it fix my jawline? I've always had a very weak jawline.
I think it only goes back to what your genetics can give you. If you were born without a good if you were born without the good jawline, I don't know if they can fix that. That seems more like a plastic surgery kind of problem. You could probably fix that way.
Pretty sure it's super expensive and also really painful. You know?
Yeah, I would imagine. And
then I'd probably be have a bloated jaw for 3 months while it heals.
Yeah, but once it heals, though, you would look like damn, Zac Efron. But not his new jaw, his old jaw.
Awful. And I don't know if it's just a single bad picture, but that picture is bad.
I still don't know if I believe what happened to him. He said he fell and destroyed his entire facial structure.
It's possible. Does that mean Jeremy Renner's going to get plastic surgery? Because he looks pretty bad as well.
Oh, does he?
He looks in bad shape.
Oh, yeah, because he got hit by the snowplow.
Yeah.
He was in the hospital for a long time. Is he still there?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Shout out Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, I wasn't making fun of you, Jeremy. I just pointing out the obvious.
We're just trying to think about the future here and what your acting career is going to look like. How is Hawkeye going to look?
I don't know. I didn't watch the show. I don't know if he is going to continue being a character.
It might be tough, What if they... I hope they don't cut him off just because they're just you don't look like Hawkeye anymore, buddy. How fucking ruthless would that be?
That would be pretty bad.
I could see it. It's Hollywood.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he's a white dude, so...
True.
He'll be fine. You'll be all right, Jeremy.
True. But yeah, I think you could get facial reconstruction surgery if you wanted.
You think I should get it?
I don't think you should. I think it would be a mistake if you did because you are very handsome.
Oh,
yep.
So sweet.
Yeah, Okay, what else did I search? So, the other things that I was looking up this week, besides speed... I
don't believe you. I think you watched the movie and you're too embarrassed to
I've
say
never
it's your
seen
favorite.
it. I would not be embarrassed to watch a movie from 2007 about a bus that's about to explode. But does that sound like a movie that I would enjoy? No, it does not.
Maybe. You like a lot of weird things.
You don't know me.
I know you.
Okay, I had to look this up because this is another thing I saw on Twitter, that apparently Trader Joe's trains their employees to point out something that you're purchasing and tell you that they like that thing.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. But I did dig in further, and it brought me to this Reddit thread about a Trader Joe's employee explaining the training. And apparently they don't specifically train them on that, but it is something a lot of them do because it's just an easy conversation starter, an easy way to get on your good side, butter you up.
So it's not like a sales tactic?
No, I don't think so. But it was literally the tweet was yo, I just walked into Trader Joe's and bought a bunch of food. And then the guy was just I love cilantro. And he was just there's no way this man literally loves cilantro that much. He had to say it out loud.
You think you would have picked like a better,
Like, what a weird thing to
a better item?
I love cilantro. Okay. But
I've never been to a Trader Joe's.
oh, dude, I love Trader Joe's.
It's a little rich for my taste.
It's not that expensive. It's not like
Not that expensive coming from the.
I think it's way better pricing than like Target or anything like that.
Don't disrespect Target.
Okay. Wow, you shop at Target, but Trader Joe's is too much. All right. I just like Trader Joe's because they have a large selection of kombucha, and they also carry those barbell protein bars, which are fucking excellent. I love those things. Shout out Barbell. They're really good. 0 sugar, 20 grams of protein. They taste like a candy bar.
Do you take care of your body?
I try.
That's what it sounds like.
I try.
Fucking chump.
But yeah, Trader Joe's is sick, man.
It feels very bougie, very, very hipster.
I would say the employees always do kind of have that weird, like hipstery, like overly nice vibe. But it's nice. It's a good store. Go there. Shop there. It's beautiful. Shout out Trader Joe's. A lot of shout outs today.
I'm just thinking about going there and buying like a case of water and then being like, I love water.
Yeah. So apparently they aren't actually trained on that, but it is something that commonly happens because it's just easy to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Learned a lot this week. The internet is a wonderful place.
I don't know that I agree.
Learned what speed was. Shout out Sandra Bullock. And Keanu Reeves, baby.
Question? Bizarre? I forget the format.
Wow. We're how many episodes in and we're still struggling. This is still a work in progress.
20 and some change, I think.
Let's go to
I got a great question. I've been excited for this.
Okay, you want to jump in? I don't think it matters, man. We can do whatever we want here.
No one cares. I actually had 2 questions. I thought of
Sure.
them both before I went to bed a couple days ago.
Yep.
And then I forgot one of them.
Okay.
But this other one's going to be a great conversation starter. You ready?
I am, yes. Let me know.
Have
Hit
you
me with
ever
it.
You gonna
Tell me the question. What is it?
Cute.
Okay.
Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Have I ever had a near-death experience?
Yes.
No, but...
Oh, see, this is what I said. I said it could be a shitty question if you have nothing to contribute.
But I've got a story to tell you.
Okay.
The closest I've ever been to death. Okay. And this is the first thing that came to my mind. When I was about 3 years old, I believe. 3 years old. Maybe 4. 3. I'm going to say 3. We lived in New Jersey at the time. My roots, Jersey, the boardwalk, Paulie D, the Garden State.
He knows 3 things exactly about New Jersey.
The Goldfinch.
4.
New Jersey, the Garden State. We lived there. Specifically Stortsville, New Jersey, which is west. This has nothing to do with the story.
This sounds like you're stalling for time.
So when I was 3 years old, we lived in this neighborhood, and it was kind of weird. It was something I'd never really experienced with living in a neighborhood, because our neighborhood was so fucking like a community. Like all the parents got together all the time. All the kids like knew each other. It was so like bizarre, like how we all just kind of hung out all the time. So oftentimes we would just have like these kids coming over to our house or like coming by to be like, hey, can so-and-so play? You know, that bullshit. But I'm 3 years old. Obviously, I don't have any friends in this neighborhood yet. I'm 3. But I was standing in our front yard, and this neighbor kid came by, and he was riding his bike. And I don't know what was going on from his point of view. Again, I'm 3. But he rides his bike in what seems, from my memory, to be super fucking fast. And for whatever reason, my back was turned to him, right? So I didn't know he was coming. He ran me straight over. I'm 3 years old. He ran me...
I forgot that.
In case you forgot, I'm 3 years old. I've existed for 3 years. This kid runs me over with his bike. I'm out cold. I'm done. I don't remember anything after that. I woke up in my mother's arms in our living room. And from what I heard, I just passed out. I was just like, I was out after that. And apparently I had bike tracks on my back because I was shirtless. Because I'm a shirtless 3-year-old. I'm 3. You can walk around shirtless.
Oh, okay.
You can be outside shirtless. It's totally fine. But I'm 3. And
shut the fuck up. Everyone knows you're 3.
So apparently he ran me over and I went out cold. And then I had bike tracks on my back for like days, a week, They're not there anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the closest I've been. That was pretty traumatizing for me.
Yeah, honestly, a hard hit to the ground, especially if you're like hitting pavement or asphalt.
I think I was on the grass, luckily. Because that could have been much worse.
This story stinks.
But yeah, man, that was that was the first thing I thought of. That's probably the closest I've been to death that I can think of in recent memory. I was 3.
23 years ago. Recent memory.
Yeah.
That's not recent memory.
Well, relatively.
It means you just led an easy life.
Yeah, I guess so. I've led a cushy life, man. What about you? Have you had a near-death experience?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So, just for some background information.
Okay.
I have allergies.
We all know.
I've had allergies for quite a long time.
Sure.
When I was like 13 or 14.
How old?
Sorry. When I was 13 or 14, my mom had some recommendation to send me to this allergy clinic in Minnesota.
Okay.
Where their whole thing was they specialized in allergies and asthma.
Yep.
The 2 things I have.
Nice.
The things I'll always have.
You're in the right spot.
And if you're familiar with most allergies, there's a way to kind of wean yourself off, make yourself immune to them so you don't have the same impact.
Yeah.
And so I remember getting the test and what they do. Have you ever had like an allergy test?
No, but my brothers did. I've seen it.
It's the worst.
Don't they like poke you with a bunch of things and see what sticks, see what you're allergic to?
They poke you with about 40 different allergens, and they're able to determine like how allergic you are to something based on the size of the bump that comes up. And so like your back is just covered, your arms are just covered. But I was, I'm allergic to everything that's outside, dogs technically.
Okay.
But so they start me on allergy shots. And basically what it meant is once a week we'd drive to this clinic.
Yeah.
I would get shots and then I would leave.
Okay.
But this clinic and pretty much every clinic that administers allergy shots has this safety feature where they say, once you get your shots, it takes 30 seconds. You are going to wait in, the building for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that is when most allergic reactions would appear.
Right.
You're not going to...
They got to be safe.
Yeah, it's not going to happen 2 hours after the fact. It's going to be right away.
Absolutely.
And it was the worst. So I started doing this when I was young, and I would always... I couldn't drive, obviously, so I'd always have to have someone take me. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where I was like, I don't want to keep going out here. No one else wants to take me.
Yeah.
No one wants to wait this long.
Absolutely not. I would never wait 30 minutes.
Yeah, so I stopped...
I'm just kidding.
I stopped doing it for a long time. Fast forward to college, I get back into it because, I lived... a couple minute walk away from this clinic that they were able to administer my shots.
Way easier.
And so for about a year and a half, I was doing it twice a week.
Whoa.
Twice a week.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And
is that how often was it before then?
It kind of works differently in different ways. So there's different phases that you get into. So there's supposedly a point you can reach where it's like once a month, once every few months, once a year kind of deal. I was on it long enough that I could start doing twice a week to try to build up my immunity as fast as possible.
Wow.
But as safe as possible.
Okay.
And so I remember I would almost never wait the 30 minutes. I would maybe sit there for 5 minutes, get up and leave. And then one day I'd gotten my shots, and I think I would get like 3 different shots. So like 2 in one arm, 1 in the other. It sucked. It was like the worst fucking thing ever to have to continuously go through it. But
you're just doing this to build immunity?
Just to build immunity.
Wow.
But those couple years, my allergies did not impact me whatsoever.
Huh. So they worked.
They 100% worked. But I remember one day, I get my shots like normal, and I go into the lobby, and I'm about to leave. I didn't really think about sitting down. I didn't really care. I was like, you know what? I've never had any allergic reaction.
Yep.
It's not a problem.
Whatever.
So as I'm walking away, like the roof of my mouth starts to feel a little scratchy, and I didn't really think much of it. And then my feet start to get a little itchy.
Ooh.
I'm like, this could be nothing. It's probably nothing. But I turn around and tell the nurse, I'm like, hey, I'm starting to feel a little bit itchy. It just feels a little weird. It's probably nothing. And she's like, okay, sit back down. And then within a minute, it gets hard to breathe.
Ooh.
Every part of my body is itching.
Oh.
I'm getting hives, and it's like, okay, now I'm going into anaphylactic shock.
Whoa.
So a couple minutes later, I'm on this hospital or bed, whatever you want to call it, in their clinic. People are all around me trying to help out. I can't breathe, so they stick me with an EpiPen.
Yep.
That was the other thing. EpiPens are super fucking
They
expensive.
had to do a tracheotomy?
No, they didn't have to do a tracheotomy, but they stick me with the EpiPen. I fucking vomit immediately.
Oh.
Like my pants are down on my ankles because they have to do it in your thigh.
They took your pants off?
Yeah, that was the worst part.
That's awful.
And so like it's just I'm panicking. I'm in full panic mode. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, right.
And so then they call the ambulance. I'm sitting in the ambulance for a while, just trying to process everything that's happening. Pretty much every reaction you could have, I was having. Every different...
All at once?
All at once. Yeah.
Is that normal? That seems abnormal.
I'll get to it. And so we go to the ER. They discharged me after a couple hours. Because if you catch like an anaphylactic shock early enough, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks in the moment. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Right.
Medically speaking. But I was just like, I was super, super, super exhausted because the other thing is, so with an EpiPen, it's just straight adrenaline,
Right.
Just to, be able to open up your lungs and start to breathe again.
Yeah.
But then after that, you fucking crash. Ooh. So I was tired for like a day and a half. But then I had to
do going on a bender.
Yeah, exactly. And then I had to go back into the first clinic that, I started with, not the one in college, just so they can do like a review with me and check everything.
Yep.
And they're like talking it over, and they're like, yeah, by the way, this is probably the worst allergic reaction we've ever seen at our clinic. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't that great.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, so you can never do this again.
You're just banned from doing it.
Yeah, I can't do it.
No more allergy shots for you.
Spent thousands of dollars on allergy shots. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. Between the appointments and the shots themselves, so much money.
Wow.
And I can't ever fucking do it again. And so I had a couple months where my allergies weren't nearly as bad.
Yeah.
But it's all come back now.
Oh, no. That's crazy. Wait, so how did that even happen then? Or like, is that just a risk that can possibly happen every time you get allergy shots? Or was it?
It is 100% a risk that you take on every time you're doing allergy shots. When I was in the period of like getting set up for it and doing testing and all that, they said that it is very rare, which it is.
Yeah.
When they're doing allergy shots, they do it in a very safe way. But the clinic specifically mentioned that they've never had anyone die.
That's good.
That is good, but
no
it's
one's
like,
died.
Why would you say that?
No one's died yet.
But like, if they do have someone die.
But you're the closest one.
Yeah. They said it was the worst reaction possible. And I remember testing a couple months later for penicillin. That's something I've been allergic to. And I still, got some hives from it. So I'll have long-term allergies forever. But
that's tough.
Yeah, I remember texting Emily. I can't remember what exactly I texted her. I think I just texted her. I'm at the ER. But in like Eau Claire, there's like 5 or 6 hospitals that all have emergency rooms.
Yep.
So she had to call around to just try to figure out where I was.
Just called around to figure out where you were?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was fortunate. I was the one on, right next to Upper Campus.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, that was like the closest I've been. And there are times, and I'm not really saying I guess it could be probably considered trauma. There are times where if like my throat gets scratchy, which happens just normally, I can I go right back to that moment where it felt like my entire body was like seizing up on me.
I could see it. I could see how that could affect you going forward, how you might be like, oh, I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
And then kind of have a physical reaction to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Or a mental one.
Yeah. Wow. This is pretty cool. Get allergy shots, guys.
Sure, they seem safe, but just be aware of the risks. Be aware of the risks out there.
Yeah.
But we're glad you're alive.
Thanks, man.
Glad that you're here with us.
That's almost where they poked me.
Oh.
The funny thing is, so every time you go, you have to bring your own EpiPen.
Okay.
And I'd paid for, a ton of different EpiPens because they expire over time.
Yep.
And I always brought them to my appointment. And then they didn't even use it. They used their own.
They use their own. So it's a scam. You don't need to have your own EpiPen.
Well, okay.
Because they're not going to use yours.
Okay,
they're going to have their own. They're going to have their own EpiPen. They're going to have their own things that they've got. You don't need anything. You should probably stop taking all medications.
No, okay. Don't.
Throw your Lexapro away. Just kidding.
Are you okay? Have you thrown your Lexapro away?
No, I still take mine regularly. Woo!
Awesome. Well, that was my near-death experience.
Wow. That's actually pretty significant.
Yeah.
You could have definitely died.
I do have another one. Real quick if you have time for it.
Dude, do I have time?
All right. I can't swim at all.
We know this.
What?
I know you can't swim. Oh. That's why every time we are on a boat, you're like, I'm not going swimming.
Okay, I guess all right, you got me. But I remember I was with the girl I was dating in high school. We were with her family, and they were at their grandparents who live on like a river or whatever.
Yep.
And so we had
a river. Mississippi?
The other St. Croix.
The St. Croix. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sick.
But basically, we were on a boat, and then we got off and went onto the beach. And like in this, on this beach, like you can kind of go in, and there's like a little inlet where there's like a smaller body of water.
Nice.
And you could either walk around
a bay.
or like a bay, or you could swim across. Ooh. And so everyone decided to swim across. I didn't know how deep it was, so I start going, and about halfway, I'm like, I can't fucking swim. So you
didn't tell anyone that you can't swim, and you just tried to follow them across a river?
Well, I assume like
there was a current, I'm guessing.
No, there wasn't.
There was no current?
There was no current. I just couldn't. I can't swim. I can't swim.
Wow.
So if you remember when you're a child and they do all like the water safety in like elementary school,
yes,
they tell you that people will panic and try to bring you down.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Me.
You.
100%.
Oh,
me.
I know.
It was terrifying. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna die. They're like her family had children. I'm like grabbing at the children. And fortunately,
you take your little brother down.
Would have been awful, but I was able to eventually get across after like full on panic. I mean, they're literally children with like floaties that are like making their way across.
You could just ask for a floaty.
Nah.
A life jacket.
But could you imagine if I had just died right there and then?
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a way to go.
It's such an embarrassing story to tell because like I was like
he just
17.
didn't tell anyone that he couldn't swim, and he just went under, and then we never heard from him. Apparently, he didn't know his strokes.
I mean, like I understand the concept of swimming.
Yeah, as do I.
I've never been able to make it work with
I've
my
seen
body.
the Olympics.
Can you swim?
I can move in the water.
Okay, he can't swim either.
Megan makes fun of me because I don't know all my strokes.
Well,
apparently, that's like a thing that people should know.
She's been like
but she was an actual swimmer.
Yeah.
And she teaches swimming or has taught swimming in the past. And yeah, I don't know all my strokes. She always tells me I don't know how to swim. I know how to swim. If you put me in the water, I can move. I don't know how long I'd last in the ocean. Probably not that long, but I mean, not everybody would last in the ocean anyway. So, whatever. I'm not going to find myself in that position. How often are you in deep bodies of water that you can't find land and a surface to stand on?
So, all right, situation.
Yeah.
We're in the Boundary Waters.
Yep.
One of those bigger lakes. Say we're in the middle, we capsize.
Okay.
The canoe's no longer an option for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you can last long enough to make it to land?
Yes.
Really?
We would be wearing life jackets.
No life jackets. Life jackets are gone.
Okay, well, that's not a realistic situation because we have life jackets. But if I don't have the life jacket...
Not true. When we were finally leaving that godforsaken place, what did I forget?
Yes, I know. We've been over this. You
exactly.
forgot the life jacket.
So
I thought it was hilarious. No, I mean, if I didn't have the life jacket, yeah, I could make it to shore. I could make it to at least like a place where I could stand.
I don't know. I feel like you're being cocky, like all the kids in the stories that think they can swim to the big island.
I would die. All right. We would both die.
Two of us will die.
This podcast would be over with. You're right.
We'll just have Neil fill in.
Sure. Yeah, people love Neil. You guys love Neil, right? Sound off in the comments how much you love Neil. Awesome. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add to that?
All right. So there's another time where I
yeah. You've had a lot of these experiences.
Yeah. So when I was, I hadn't been born.
You're serious? There's another one.
100% serious.
Oh,
I hadn't been born yet. And I remember like in the womb, like these metal objects coming at me, and I had to like dodge.
You son of a bitch!
Just kidding. I think I was wanted.
I was about to say, man, no wonder you think you're gonna die. You've already almost died so many times.
I have several lives.
Yeah,
like a cat.
Nice.
Are cats the only like creature that people say they have multiple lives?
Lizards have 6. I made that up. That's not true.
I believed you because you said it so quickly.
That's really the only thing you have to do to make people believe you is just say something with confidence.
And quick.
That's why I was pretty good at sales when I did it.
Yeah?
Just kidding. No, I'm kidding. Don't lie to people. Don't be that salesman. Don't be that guy. Be honest.
That's true.
Honesty is the best policy.
All right, quit soapboxing.
All right. Let's talk about bizarre news, shall we?
Yeah.
Woo! We've got some bizarre news today. Okay. First story. Let's talk about it. This one's a short one, so we'll just...
Was that RedTube?
No.
Okay.
The title of this article is Michael Bay really doesn't want to be called a pigeon killer.
I heard about this.
Did you hear about this?
I didn't know he didn't want to be called a pigeon killer. But
well, that's just the title of the article. Yeah. So apparently, Michael Bay was filming a movie in Italy, and during the filming of this movie, allegedly, there was a witness that reported that a pigeon had died in one of the scenes. And in Italy, pigeons are a protected animal, so it's illegal to kill a pigeon. Thus, now he is under fire in Italy and now on trial for killing a pigeon.
Why are they a protected animal? Are they just sparse?
I think I'm not really sure. It doesn't really go into detail, but I know like if you think about like Venice or something like that, there's always like fuck tons of pigeons, right?
Yeah. So why do they need to be protected?
They're protected. I don't know. They like them there.
There's so many of them because they are protected.
Pigeons are the soul of Italy. They don't tell you that.
All right.
But
did it die in like I didn't read very far into it. I just saw the headline. Did it like die in an explosion, like a Michael Bay explosion?
So yeah, they think it was something like that, but apparently Michael Bay is disputing this claim. He said there was no pigeons harmed, but there's one witness or a couple witnesses that are saying that they saw a pigeon die in a scene.
Do they have the pigeon's body?
I don't think they do. No body, no crime.
How the fuck can you?
How can you charge a man with the murder of a pigeon when there's no body of a pigeon?
If the pigeon doesn't fit, you must acquit. I don't know what his legal defense is.
Exactly. Also, this happened in like 2018, but now the charges have been brought forward and the case has been built, I guess. I don't know.
It does usually take 4 to 5 years to build a pigeon murder case.
What lawyer in Italy has the time and like the gumption to come up to build a case against director Michael Bay for the alleged murder of a pigeon? They must have some good evidence on him if they're building a case and now bringing it forth in 2022 to put him on trial.
It ain't 2022 anymore, buddy.
2023.
Potentially 5 years that this case has been in the works.
That's unbelievable. This has to be the most concrete case ever built.
Well, I hope there's justice.
Me too. Justice
Michael
for that
Bay
pigeon.
just goes to prison for 15 years.
I'm pretty sure that they could have just paid a fine, but he denied doing that.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can get that. It's probably a steep fine.
He just doesn't want to, hence the title of the article, doesn't want to be known as a pigeon killer. He denies that it happened, and now they have to proceed with whatever the proceedings will be for the death of this pigeon.
I feel like it's just a case of hearsay, or he said, she said. Michael Bay says he didn't kill a pigeon. Someone says, I did see a pigeon die.
Yeah.
The pigeon's carcass is long decomposed, so there's no way to prove.
There's no way, unless this witness somehow had saved the pigeon carcass and...
the smoking gun as they have
come out during the trial with evidence and they're like, then what is this? And it's a fucking dead pigeon in a box. Got you, Michael.
Just like a tiny little skeleton.
Your movies suck. You ruined Transformers. That's really what this is all about.
I didn't mind the first Transformer movie.
The first one was fine. I think after that it just got way too bad, man.
Yeah, but that's really not a Michael Bay phenomenon. That's most trilogies.
That's true.
Most sequels.
So how far can you really take robots that turn into vehicles? I guess
pretty far. I guess they're still
outside of the cartoon context.
They're still churning them out.
Yep. Okay, so we'll see how that turns out. Maybe we'll follow up with that once the court proceedings have.
How many links do you have?
I have 3.
Oh, okay.
They're just long.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next one here. I've got 2 more. We're going to talk about all of them because you talked about 5 near-death experiences.
Okay.
This one is ridiculous. This comes from the New York Post. Woman sues bar after getting so drunk she blew up a $10 million home.
What?
A Canadian woman who caused a $10 million house explosion while driving drunk is now suing the bar that provided her alcoholic beverages, as she claims the owners are to blame. The car bomb fiasco occurred in August of 2019, and she was driving home from a Marilyn Manson concert after drinks at the Budweiser Gardens bar in London, Ontario. This takes place in Canada.
Gross.
Yeah. She crashed her Ford Fusion into... it gives the address. I'm not going to read that. Rupturing a gas line and triggering a massive explosion that destroyed 4 houses and injured 7 people.
So she was driving drunk?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. So she has built a case. Once again, a case has been built over several years.
4 years in the making.
Over several years, claiming that the bar is to blame for her getting intoxicated, getting in a vehicle, and then blowing up 4 houses.
Does she list any substantial defense?
No. I mean, her basically her whole defense is just like, they shouldn't have let me leave the bar. Like they're to blame because they supplied the alcohol. They knew she was intoxicated, and then she left. But
I don't know. I'm no legal expert, and I'm not versed in the laws of our northern brethren. But I mean, unless they're like, "Hey, you want to drive after drinking this 7th shot?" Maybe. But I feel like I don't know that any bartender has any obligation to. I think there's maybe an obligation to maybe cut people off.
Right, which I think that's what they did. So apparently, it said in the article, she was drunk and then they kicked her out. Right?
Oh.
So I had that mistaken. They kicked her out of the bar.
Okay.
Because she was trying to continue to drink and obviously she's intoxicated.
So her defense is if she had drank more, she probably would have passed out at the bar. She wouldn't have driven.
I guess so. I guess her case would be that if she hadn't been kicked out of the bar, she would never have gotten in the car. Rhymes. Say that in court.
That'll work.
Hey, people love rhyming things. It gets you acquitted.
They do.
But yeah, I just don't think that the bartender or the bar itself has any, it is not their problem. They are an establishment that serves alcohol. You go there to drink alcohol. That is why you're there. And then if they kick you out for being a dumbass, then you're not their problem anymore. You're on the street, baby. You're gone.
Easy.
I'm sorry you got in a car and exploded 4 houses. Luckily, nobody died. Which is crazy.
It's pretty surprising to me that no one died.
Yeah. 7 people injured, though. But she was only convicted of driving impaired. That's all they convicted her of.
What?
Yeah. And I think she's responsible for the damages. So
okay. All right.
Basically, she wants the bar to help pay the $10 million or whatever it is. Which is unbelievable.
You think about that. How does any ordinary person pay those damages?
You don't. You go into debt forever, I think.
I mean, there's no chance that the people who have the damages were going to ever recoup most of that money.
Although I did see, I saw a comment, and I was thinking this myself. If you're presumably driving home and you hit homes that are worth millions of dollars, I'm assuming that you live in that neighborhood, right? So you probably have a good amount of money.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe that's how she's able to build such a concrete legal defense.
She probably got a good lawyer, which you'd need one in this case. I don't know what lawyer in the right mind would take that case. That seems wild to me.
Someone who wants money.
But yeah, just another rich ninny trying to blame other people for their problems. Don't drive drunk. It's bad.
It is bad.
We are an anti-driving drunk podcast. Last story. Let's hit it. Let's hit it, baby. This one's a fun one. Okay.
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know. All right. Title of this article. The headline. Chair rage. Police hunt for man who chewed bus seat.
Ew. Why is there a manhunt for that? Who cares?
This is in the UK.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have much else to do in the UK. They don't have guns over there.
And their teeth are kind of primed for...
That's true. Their teeth
chairs.
are kind of meant to chew hard leather.
I have shitty teeth too, but not on the level of a British person.
Yeah, sorry for our UK listeners out there. Police in Denver are asking... Oh, sorry, it's Devon. I don't know why I said Denver. Police in Devon are asking for help in finding a bus passenger.
You were doing an English accent too.
Who caused a 200 quid worth of damage.
It's not that much. Right?
No. By eating his seat, at least a chunk of it. The young man was traveling on the bus in... I don't know how to say that. On the English Riviera.
Let me give it a shot.
Paynton?
Paynton?
On English Riviera. Riviera. I can't read. When he apparently seized by an attack of hunger or boredom and began biting the leather seat. It is not entirely clear whether he swallowed the hunk of seat or spat it out, but CCTV footage caught the suspect gripping a bottle of fizzy drink, which he might have used to wash it down. What the fuck? The amount of detail in this article is stupid. Is this real? Is this The Onion?
Why is there a manhunt for this?
It's 200 quid. Devon and Cornwall police have chewed over... Whoever wrote this article is a fucking genius. I've chewed over the evidence since the incident on May 25th, or 25th of May.
What? This has almost been a year now, too? Jesus Christ.
But have drawn a blank, so have released a CCTV still of their chief suspect to help track him down. A police spokesman summed the crime up. While travelling between Paignton and Torquay on a number 12 bus, a male passenger started chewing the leather seat he was sat on and continued to pick at the hole with his hand and make further damage. Around 200 quid of damage was caused. That's probably what he sounds like.
Probably.
The suspect is described as male in his late teens to early 20s, 5'9", and of stocky build. He has short, dark hair and was wearing a dark-colored T-shirt and light jeans over a year ago, if that helps you.
Do you think, like, whoever solves this, like, this is going to be their big case?
It's my big break. I caught the bus seat eater.
They become a detective because... Oh, that is good. That is good.
Detective Finch on the case.
There's got to be nothing going on in that police department.
It's got to be some like small like UK town where they don't have to deal with any real crime, and the biggest crime there in the last decade is the bus seat chewer.
Shouldn't have like some DNA been there?
Yeah, you'd think they'd have some DNA evidence on this guy.
You never know.
Who knows? Who knows? But if you see somebody in the UK, or if you happen to be in the UK, if you're a UK listener, if you see somebody matching that description, yeah, report it to your local police because he is a wanted man.
Yeah, let them know when you've seen a white guy wearing jeans.
Also, I'm worried about the mental state of this man for chewing a bus seat. They said it could have been out of boredom or hunger. I'm thinking maybe he was having a mental break, and maybe we should really be on this guy's side. We should probably get him the help he needs.
I'm fervently on this man's side.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm going to start doing that. I don't ride buses because, come on, you're not going to catch me on public transit. But
sure. But I don't know why you're against public transit. We need more of that in this country.
Pro-emissions.
Okay. Don't take that stance. We are not pro-emissions.
But we are out of time.
That is true.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts, if you see a bus seat and you're sitting on the bus, don't chew it. Just don't do it. Also, Michael Bay, either admit you killed the pigeon or just stop making movies. I don't know. Just stop. Just have a good day, everybody. I don't know. Bye.